Percussion Director Javier Ramirez and Guard Director Tim Patton perform our national anthem.
And welcome everyone to WREP 15 Sports and the IHSAA TV for a conference game here, the Mid-State Conference between the Meridian Falcons and the Martinsville Artesians. Artesians come in as the away team at 4-2, 3-1 in the conference. And the Meridian Falcons hosting the Artesians are 2-4, 1-3 in the Mid-State Conference coming into tonight's game. Alongside me is former head coach of Lafayette Jeff and Martinsville and current principal of John R. Wood Middle School, Coach Fred Cuttriff. And Coach, Perry Meridian in the Mid-State, that's not something I believe that you were had to deal with as a head coach of Martinsville because they weren't in the Mid-State when you were here.
No, we were always searching and looking for a team, and I think a few years back they made a commitment. They know this team used to play at Southport Stadium. They made a commitment in putting a stadium here, and they wanted to, I think, have their own independence from Southport, which I think was a great move. So I never got to play against them, but I think it's a great addition to the conference. Great location, and I think they're an up-and-coming program. They haven't had a winning season in a long time, but looks like they're a young team, and a lot of young players going to contribute tonight.
Yeah, Perry Meridian Falcons. It's a 6A school, the only 6A school in the Mid-State Conference. But yes, a beautiful facility here, fairly new, nice press box here. So thanks for Perry Meridian for hosting us here as the Martinsville Artesians and the Falcons meet midfield for the coin toss. But, Coach, the Artesians coming off a big win last week, conference win on the road at Whiteland, 30-21, and Artesians really playing some good football of late.
Well, again, I would say that Coach has to really be happy with that defense, but I think his offense really stepped up. They made some big plays, and what I understand, I didn't watch the game, but they did a great job against that fly offense. You know, when you go against the fly and Whiteland runs it, we just saw our junior football played them a couple nights ago, and they run the same offense from junior football all the way up. And by the time they get to be high school, they run it really well. Our middle school sees the same thing, of course. But they did a good job. You're not getting caught up in all the we call it smoke and mirrors. The outside people, I think, did a great job taking care of the fly guys, and I think Coach's front six took care of anything inside, and it was a good night for them. And then the offense really stepped up and scored points, made big plays when they needed it.
Yeah, you're seeing some of the highlights there on your screen now, and it's when you watch the highlights, when you watch Artesians on defense, you kind of watch that Whiteland fly offense. It is kind of hard to follow sometimes. You know, you've got receivers going in front, and then quarterback doing his thing, and it's sometimes kind of hard to figure out who's got the football. So you're right, Coach. A good job of the Artesian defense to control that best they could. The Artesians, they win it 30-21, and that was a game, Coach, where the Artesians were down. They didn't start out with the lead. Were down, had a big second quarter, and then they won the fourth quarter, and that was kind of the difference in that game last week.
Well, like I said, it always is. It's 4 quarters. It's not what you do in the first couple. Now, you want to play well, but sounds like, and that's one of the things that we've talked about, whether or not they've been inconsistent, is, finishing out those big games. And it sounds like last week they finished out a big game. And anytime you can go to Whiteland and get a win, that's big for the program.
And, Coach, you kind of mentioned it earlier in the broadcast about Perry Meridian being a young team. How's that going to affect the Artesians, playing a team that does play a lot of freshmen and sophomores?
Well, I think I know Coach has probably hammered all week. Just you're going to take it to them, and you want to introduce them to Friday Night Lights. So, but being this, what is this, the 7th game of the season, they've all probably got experience. But I think we've got a good football team, so I think you want to go right at them. If there's a weakness, you're going to find that. And that's what we always did. Okay, who can we focus? Is there a younger player? They've got quite a few. And then they also have and they got some good defensive guys up front. So I think there's some good guys skilled in there. But I think it's going to be tough for the Artesians, or for the Falcons, to hang with the Artesians tonight.
Well, that's a good start for the Artesians. Chase Mabry takes the kickoff all the way to midfield. So a nice start for the Artesians. Tyler Atkins will lead his offense out on the field with great starting field position. As a nice return by Chase Mabry. I was impressed. He caught that about the 10, but he was staring right into the sun, took it, found a hole, and took it right up close to midfield.
I love the blocking scheme on that. The front 5 picked up their guys. They did a little loop scheme, it looked like, and created a big seam for Mabry.
Now we're ready to go. Official gives the whistle. So Atkins in the shotgun, and he's going to fake it. And, Herbert had it in his hands but just could not hang on to it. Incomplete pass there.
It's a great read, good route, but high school guys have a lot of trouble catching it when it's behind them like that. Your momentum's all going forward, and when you have to reach back, that is tough to ask a high school kid to do.
So Atkins will try it again, 2nd and 10. Herbert was open, but like you said, Coach, thrown just a little bit behind him. Riddick Bolton to his right. Riddick Bolton getting some more carries after the injury to Austin Fry a couple weeks ago. And they will give it to Riddick Bolton. Big hole up the middle and tackled just shy of the first down marker there.
And that's a good sign for the Artesians. I think the strength of this defense is that front 3, front 4 there for the Falcons. And they just took it right up the middle. Our big bodies got on their big bodies and created a big hole.
So 3rd and short here coming up. Gives it to Riddick Bolton, and he gets it to the 40, gets a couple extra yards. So a first down there for the Artesians.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly Coach wants to test this young Falcon defensive backs.
2 straight run plays for the Artesians so far, but we know Coach Duggar likes to throw it, and that's what he's going to do on this play. Atkins goes through his progressions. Nice find. I think it's Luke Cheatham who gets it all the way to the 20-yard line. Let's call it the 19, so it's a 20-yard completion there for Atkins to Luke Cheatham.
Great ball, nice catch. Just kind of sit down there and right in the middle of the hole where the defense is. And I said, I think they'll have trouble with that all night.
So offense for the Artesians clicking so far in this opening drive. In the red zone. Early in this first quarter, there's a pass to Chase Mabry. Chase Mabry on the left side. He's going to score, stretches out, and does. 19-yard pass completion. Touchdown for Tyler Atkins to Chase Mabry.
Well, he made that look awful easy. They have no one. We have a nice crackdown on that defensive end and nobody to set that edge. And as athletic as Mabry is, away he went.
And I know that's a play that both quarterback and the receiver likes because that helps their stats out. A 19-yard touchdown pass for Tyler Atkins and a 19-yard touchdown reception for Chase Mabry. And we're 6-0, and now we're at 7-0 as Ethan Handline, the kicker, perfect on that extra point. And just like that, Coach, Artesians go down the field quick. Had a nice return by Chase Mabry, got him to midfield, but a few plays later, Mabry finds himself in the end zone, and Artesians have a 7-0 lead. So great start for Coach Duggar and the Artesians.
I don't think you could draw it up any better. You want to come here, play well. This is always a game coaches in the back of their mind. You know you've probably got the better team, but you don't know how your team's going to respond, because you've had a couple tough games. And, you got a team that you feel you're physically better than, but they came out and took care of business. Looks like Coach has them ready to roll tonight.
So Coach Duggar coming in tonight, the Artesians, 4-2 overall, 3-1 in the conference. And he talked at the Coach Show with Eric Meyer that, he just wanted to get invited to the table for that conference championship. Obviously, Decatur Central still undefeated. Mooresville, the one loss to Decatur Central. So the Artesians have to play Mooresville next week. So a lot of things have to happen. But like Coach Duggar said, at least now they're kind of invited to the table and have a shot at it. So wanted to make sure that Artesians didn't overlook Perry Meridian, because this game could be the definition of a possible trap game after the big win against Whiteland, and then you got a big county rival next week against Mooresville. You don't want to overlook Perry Meridian, but so far Artesians have looked good. And bobbled there and picked up at the 10 and brought down. Nice job on the coverage by the Artesians. Number 23, I believe, with that tackle, Stephen Drake.
Anytime you can get kickoff return team, if you can pin the kickoff return team down inside the 20, we always gave a lot of those were helmet stickers we'd give them for that. That's a great play. Good hustle.
So we'll see the Perry Meridian offense. And quick play there. Now that's trouble for the Artesians. Still on his feet and all the way to the 50 for a 40-yard scamper. Number 17, Landon Egan, the junior, on that run.
Looks like just a missed assignment. He just kind of turned it up, planted, got up the field, and that's I'm hoping they'll learn from it here, and I'm sure they'll be discussing that whether next time out or break and play.
Hands it off this time up the middle and falls forward for a few yards. Number 32, Andy Warren, the freshman.
Now, talking to Coach Trump during the week, this one thing, they're not a bad running team. They got some good athletes, but they don't, they don't stick with it. They get impatient, and they want to go to the air, and sometimes that's been their Achilles heel. But Coach says this quarterback can really throw it as well.
Hands it off to Warren again, and Warren gets it across the 40 for about an 8-yard pickup and a first down. Coach Duggar talked about, he knows Coach Cooper, and he says Coach Cooper kind of likes his coaching philosophy more, likes to ground game, but he says he's passed it a lot more with this Perry Meridian team. So, but so far it's been the ground attack for the Falcons, and it's working for him in this opening drive. And Roman's going to keep it. He's going to throw it, and he finds his man, but tackled immediately at the 30.
Well, Eric, you had mentioned, throwing the ball. Sometimes, though, when you're young and you have a losing record and you get behind in games, you have to start tossing it. So it may be not always what they want to do. So depending on the situation, I think it's going to be one of those where we have to really work on playing our game and eventually can pull them out of their running game.
Caden Long for the Artesians made that tackle just shy of the first down. So second and short coming up for the Artesians. Hands it off up the middle, bounces off one tackler and drives those legs across for about a 3-yard pickup. That's enough for a first down.
Eric, I'm not sure who came across there, had a nice play for a loss and just couldn't keep him wrapped up.
Andy Warren, a freshman, 5'11", 196, but showed some strength there as he bounced off that one tackler. Coach, you mentioned it, and kept driving his legs, got the first down. So first down coming up for Perry Meridian. 8 minutes to go. Ball's in Artesian territory, and there's Warren again up the middle, bouncing off a tackler, and finally drugged down.
Now this is one area where you're concerned as a coach with Perry because, we tell them they don't know what they don't know. They're young. They're out there having fun. They're just playing to play. So in more games you stack on, more experience. Now this is really going to pay off next year. But this year you can already tell they kind of have a nonchalant attitude and they're just having fun. It looks like, and we're going to have to keep our game plan.
And Warren has finally stopped. He ran into a wall of his blockers, couldn't get around him, and then finally met and dropped for no gain on that carry. So nice job by the defense that time. So Artesians finally get a decent stop there on first down. Put the Falcons 2nd and 10. Ball at the Artesian 18-yard line as Rollman is in the shotgun. Warren to his left. Rollman's going to pass it. He's looking. Rolls to his left and is going to just be pushed out of bounds.
I'm sure this is what Coach was looking for a little bit more on this first drive, is put them in a bad situation, 3rd and long. Now either you're going to have to make them pass or do something they're probably not real comfortable with.
So Quentin Bland was the Artesian to run the Perry Meridian quarterback out of bounds. Maybe said he lost a yard too there. So 3rd and 11.
And if I'm Perry now, I'm not worried about getting the whole thing because if I'm setting at 2 and 4, this is 2 down territory.
Absolutely.
For me. I'm going for it. I don't have anything to lose with my young team.
Especially the way the kind of defense struggled with the Artesian offense, and fakes the handoff and runs into the official, which kind of slowed him down a little bit, but makes it up to the second level. So Coach made it that fourth and much more manageable.
A little bit. We call that book, but that's a quarterback option play on the jet. So what you're doing is when that jet motion guy goes in motion, as he clears the defensive end, you're reading the defensive end. If that defensive end goes after the jet guy, then the quarterback pulls it and heads right up the middle, and that's exactly what happened.
So 4th and 3 coming up, and we've got, I believe, a timeout. Perry Meridian's going to call their first timeout. 6:04 left to go in this first quarter. Artesians with an early 7-0 lead, but Perry Meridian, their first timeout, is marching down the field, and they've got it 4th and 3 at the, looks like the 7-yard line of the Artesians.
And Eric, one thing we've noticed with the Artesian defense, at least I have, is sometimes they've had a little rough on the first couple drives, but then they've settled in, and whether or not they're making adjustments and have then taken care of their job. So they've seemed to be better as the game goes along. So hopefully this will then get a big stop here and get ready to get the offense out there and figure out some of the issues they're having. Biggest thing is they're not playing the option very well right now.
Hey, Coach, we've got a little break. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Artesian starting defense for tonight.
Tanner Smith, Poston Road Elementary.
Jaden Kistner, Pleasant Grove Elementary.
Stevie Drake, Paragon.
Devin Brenner, Paragon Elementary.
Bryce Norton, Pleasant Grove Elementary.
Weston Pemberton, South Elementary.
Riddick Bolton, South Elementary.
Braden Schrake, Brooklyn Elementary.
Caden Long, Green Township Elementary School.
Logan Poppy, South Elementary.
And that was the Artesian starting defense, and right now they're looking at a 4th and about 3. Perry Meridian trying to get at least a first down to keep this drive alive. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, throws it over. It is caught and touchdown. The 7-yard touchdown pass from Rollman to the Perry Meridian Falcons. Number 8, Caleb McBride, the senior.
That was well executed again off that option play. So looks like their game plan is run the option, run the jet option, and then quarterback pulls it or then pulls up and throws it.
And a couple of Artesian defenders were in pursuit, and Rollman floated it up there. The Falcons now have a chance to tie this up. It's a low kick, but it goes through, and we're tied at 7-7 after the touchdown pass from the quarterback to Caleb McBride. And Coach, you mentioned it, Artesian defense throughout the whole season, for most parts, have been pretty strong, but sometimes in the beginning of the game, they've kind of struggled just a little bit or given up some points, and then especially to start that second half, the third quarter, they kind of tighten things up. So hopefully make some adjustments, and that can be the case for the Artesians.
Well, except for the Franklin game, and they ran a little bit of it, not much, but they've seemed to have some type of option play they've had to deal with, whether it's Greenwood, last week Whiteland and the fly. And you can't simulate that in practice the way you need to. You don't have you're just not an offense you're used to and that you run. So here you get in game time Friday night, so it's a little bit faster, and I'm sure they'll meet. Coach will talk about them. You make sure they get the reads. Who's got the quarterback? Who's got the pitch man? Who's got the dive man? And take care of business. Easier said than done.
Absolutely. Get ready to kick this off here. Last time the Artesians had a nice return by Chase Mabry. We'll see if Coach Cooper instructs his kicker to kick this a little higher, a little pooch kick to limit that return, or kick it away from Mabry. He's at the 10-yard line on the Meridian side of the field. And just going to squib it, and it is covered up by Cheatham there at the 35. So still nice starting field position for the Artesians. So even though Chase Mabry didn't get to return that, obviously that kick was affected because of his last return, and Artesians gets to start out at the 35, 36-yard line. So we'll see what Tyler Atkins can do this next time out. Atkins hands it off to Weston Pemberton, tries to get the edge and not going to make it, but a flag does come by the official. So we'll see what this is about.
That's probably going to be a hold, and we almost had a fumble.
It's tough when you get a holding and no gain, so that's going to push you back. It's going to make it 1st and 20, I believe, Coach. So,
yeah, not the way Coach wanted to start this drive, but again, you should be sitting at first down, and you got to think of it in chunks. You can't worry about trying to get it all at once.
And, Coach, I know Weston Pemberton got the carry there, and he had a handful of carries, played really well on offense last week, and he's had to fill in because of the injury of Austin Fry. But always makes me a little nervous. Your star defensive player, having to play running back like that. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you never want to have to do that, but at the end of the night, you got to get some of your best athletes out there. Oh, that was got a break right there.
Yeah.
Not sure he saw that hanging player there.
No, I tried to get that to his receiver, but I think he had Garrett Skaggs right open just underneath him.
But, yeah, you're exactly right. You don't want to have to do that. And I always use an example. I had Bo Shields. I had running fullback. He was doing a great job, and nobody hits him and blew his knee out against Greenwood one night, and it was all over.
Atkins is going to have to scramble, and he does just to get to the line of scrimmage, and that's all he's going to get. Maybe we'll give him a yard on that, but we'll bring up a 3rd and very long, 3rd and about 19, and this Meridian defense is showing a little signs of life after that first drive where they struggled.
I'd do something safe here. I'm not going to, it's probably going to be a pass, but I'd do something safe. I don't want to get crazy. If they want to give it to me, great, but I'd live to fight another down.
Atkins will go back to pass. He's going to go deep, and he's got him step, but he threw it too long. Tried to get Luke Cheatham there, and Luke Cheatham had a step on the defender, but Atkins threw it a little too far, and Cheatham could not catch up to it, so that's going to bring out a punting unit. So 3 and out for the Artesian offense here. So kind of a polar opposite of what they had last time out, but we'll see if Weston can pin him back.
I like that play call. They got behind the defense. I'm a little surprised Perry let them get behind it. If they, just a little bit more on it, and they would have had a connection.
Pemberton, nice kick there. It's going to be fair caught at the 34-yard line. That's where Meridian offense will take over. So hopefully Artesian defense has tightened things up a little bit and can do exactly what Meridian did to the Artesians just a minute ago. Get a 3 and out.
Okay, so yours I think is fine. Ethan, take yours off of 1/4 and go back to 1/16. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I don't know. We're having a really issue, but I'm gonna have you go to 1/4 in a second. But let's give it a play.
Looks like they have a new running back in there.
Rollman will roll to his left and finds Egan there, who gets hit immediately, but gets a nice first down gain there. It's Caden Long with the tackle for the Artesians. Let's bring up second and about 2 coming up. They hand it off to Egan around that right side, and he is hit hard. That was kind of the play that sprung him for that big gain to start the opening drive. That time, not that much, but at least enough for a first down for the Falcons.
We did get the edge set, but you're right, got that first down, but they didn't need much.
Needed 2 and got maybe 3 or 4. Rollman fakes the handoff. He's going to go back to pass. He's got a man wide open in the middle of the field. It is caught and brought down.
Well, we had definitely bet on the run because we got caught with our pants down on that one.
So that completion was made by Isaiah Hunter, who's wide open in the middle of the field, Coach. Meridian offense is clicking to start this game, and they hand it off. Get some positive yardage there. It's Wayne Day, number 33, with his first carry of the night.
Perry Line is doing a great job of just firing off and getting into our big bodies and creating lanes. And then those backs do a good job. When they plant and cut and get upfield, they are quick.
Clock ticks under 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Tie ball game 7-7, but all the momentum on the Falcon side. And nice job there by the Artesians. Brought him down. Logan Poppy was in there, but try to see who that first Artesian player who wrapped him up was on that far side. And that's big because that goes from, it was 2nd and 5, now 4-yard loss makes it 3rd and 9. But Coach, it's probably going to be 2-down territory once again if I had to guess.
Well, you would think so, but if they got a kicker, now if you can get this, if you can get them a lead.
Rollman back to pass. He's going to rifle it, has one. It's Egan who dives and makes the catch, and I think it's going to be enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's well, it was close.
Yep.
Well, your eyes were better than mine on that.
About a 10-yard completion there, and they needed 9, so they got the first down, and now it's 1st and goal for the Falcons. I could be wrong, but I think Rollman so far passing is perfect. I don't think he's had an incompletion yet.
No, he's done a nice job, and his receivers have been open.
Low snap, hands it off, and Warren doesn't get much, maybe a yard on that play.
Yeah, watching the Warren kid, I mean, it's hard to believe he's a freshman. I mean, he's got legs like a tank.
6th carry of the night right there. They kind of gave him a little bit of breather on this drive, went through the air and some other things, and this is a tight formation here on this play here. Gives it to Warren right up the middle, falls forward but stays out of the end zone.
I think Perry's trying to make a statement here that we're going to line up and our big boys are going to knock your big boys back, and you can't stop us.
Coach, this is a formation, that last one we don't really see a whole lot. Quarterback under center, had two running backs in the backfield.
I've heard, people call it different things. Heavy, elephant. They, put them in there, and it's really tough because you don't know who's going to get the ball, especially if you do any reverse action out of it.
So we had an officials timeout. Not really sure why we had an officials timeout. I don't see an injured player, but looks like it was just momentarily.
Well, we've seen some big goal line stands from our defense this year, so we've got to hope they get one here.
So 3rd and goal from about the 2-yard line of the Artesians.
Because you're right, this would be definitely 2-down territory.
Hands it off to Warren. I think he's going to get in. No, I thought he had it, but he was at the 2-yard line, needed 2 yards, got 1.5. So they're going to go quick here.
Quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I think so. Rollman's under center.
No.
Hands it off, and Warren does for sure get it in that time.
All right.
So now Perry Meridian, they take the lead with about 7 seconds left in this first quarter. It's 13-7. And just like that, when you think Martinsville, the way they started so positively, just marching down the field and scoring in such a hurry, but Perry Meridian offense has some firepower as well.
Well, Eric, and that's one of the things you worry about. You all week, you try to tell your team that.
And an extra point is blocked.
Okay, good. But you tell your team all week that you got to be ready for them. But the kids know that they're probably better than them, and they're bigger than them, and they're young. But and then all of a sudden they come out and we went from and everything goes great. Now we've gone flat a little bit. So someone's just got to make a big play.
And hopefully that's kind of the start of big plays. Big Wyatt Schrag, number 75, 6'4", 285, came in there and got his left hand there on the football to block the extra point. So that could be big. 13-7 is your score. Perry Meridian leads it, and really impressed that the way they played so far. And they kind of come in a bit of a losing streak here. They lost to Greenwood last week, 21-47. But they do have wins against Franklin in the Mid-State, and then also their non-conference win was against Southport. So two wins for Perry. And, some of these Perry Meridian teams in the last 5-6 years, 2 wins was an improvement, something to celebrate. So Coach Cooper maybe has this program going in the right direction.
Well, in their very first game I was looking, they played Franklin Central. I got to beat 27-21. Franklin Central, I believe, is 4-2 and playing in the Hoosier Crossroads. So they played some good teams.
Ethan, just be steady there, Ethan. Okay. And I'm going to go to Jack. Okay, just hold on, though. I think you're fine. I'm on you, Jack. And I'm going to go to 1. Yours camera looks good. Well, we may have to do with yours, so we may have to take your game off, too. We'll do it after this shot.
Just a little squib kick once again, and it will be scooped up at around the 30-yard line. Weston Pemberton trying to find a hole, finds one to about the 40, and that will do it for the first quarter. Artesians, they trail the Perry Meridian Falcons 13-7. We'll come back for the second quarter after this.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
And welcome back, everyone, WREP 15 Sports and watching on IHSAA TV. Eric Burns here along with Coach Fred Kutriff as the second quarter gets underway with a handoff and a nice strong carry there. I think it was Weston Pemberton who lowered his shoulder and knocked a Perry Meridian player back. So a nice first down carry there by Weston Pemberton. Get about 7 yards on that run.
Yeah, that was a nice run by him. He hit the hole nice and looked like he'd been doing it all season.
Pass it this time. Has a man open. Gets it to about the 40-yard line. Herbert there with that. So I think that was Braxton Dilly who had that. Could be wrong, Coach. Correct me if I was.
I think, Coach, one thing he's going to have to get Mabry and Cheatham involved in this game over here with these. He's got really 2-on-2.
Fakes the handoff, throws it across the field to Luke Cheatham, who's wide open. Gets a shot there. And that was number 32 again. So Andy Warren plays all over the field,
yeah,
Coach.
He's a ball player. But, yeah, that was a nice catch by Luke. I said I would definitely want to get him involved. I'd start playing some two-man games with him and Mabry when you get them on the same side. They've got some tools, and Coach is going to have to go to those.
Yeah, so hit it like you did last time. Stuck it.
Second short, Weston Pemberton. Nice little cutback. Cuts it back outside to the 20. Nice run for about an 11-yard pickup there for Weston and a first down for the Artesians. And after that 3-and-out the last time out, Artesian offense back to clicking again.
Yeah, great jump cut there by Pemberton. He was, he's just a good athlete. That's why he's our best defensive player.
Artesian showing a bit of a pistol look here with Pemberton behind Atkins and hands it off to him. Nice big hole up the middle. A 5-yard pickup there.
Artesian's giving the Falcons a little bit of their own medicine. We're going to run at you till you stop it.
And it's all been Weston Pemberton this drive. Haven't seen Riddick Bolton. And we've got some movement. And that hurts because that makes it move you back 5 yards. Now you're looking at 2nd and 10. And, Coach, penalties like that will kill you. You had the holding penalty of the last drive, and you had to start 1st and 20. And now you're moving back to 2nd and 10. So drives, I'm sure Coach Duggar nuts, those type of penalties.
Well, I go look back throughout the previous games, and I guarantee you the things that Coach has been preaching at practice is some of the penalties that have really made games closer than that they should have, or maybe even cost us one here or there.
Atkins looks to his right, and he's got a man wide open, and it is caught. And I think that's Chase Mabry, number 31, who ran an absolute beauty of a route and just ran by all of the defenders. And a 19-yard touchdown pass and catch. Tyler Atkins, Chase Mabry.
Yeah, you couldn't draw it up any better than that. That was, I mean, he did a good job holding the safety off and then firing at his target.
Ethan Handline kicks it up. It is good. And Artesians have the lead back thanks to the blocked extra point from Wyatt Strake. Artesians have a 14-13 lead with 9:32 left to go in the first half. And both Artesian touchdowns have been from Atkins to Mabry, both 19-yard touchdowns, but that one not quite the little jet pass, hot pass, whatever you want to call it. That was just a nice route by Chase Mabry, and Atkins threw a beautiful ball kind of in the corner of the end zone.
Well, Eric, you said we needed a big play, and maybe the extra point block was it. Well, it probably was because Perry has played a great first quarter and those started slow on this one, but they're down 14-13. So a young team, that kind of, okay, we played our best and we're still down. So that was a big extra point that was blocked.
Saw the replay there of the touchdown pass from Atkins to Mabry. And Mabry just ran a nice route. Maybe some little confusion from the defensive backs because Mabry was wide open. That was like a 7-on-7 play there.
That was a little, actually, almost like it's a cross route. I was watching the Mannings on Monday Night Football, and they were drawing up that exact one of the best plays the Mannings were talking about is that little cross route where one comes underneath and one goes over the top and then hangs, and it does cause confusion.
How good is that program that the Mannings do Monday Night Football? It's not your traditional broadcast, so if you like your traditional Monday night broadcast, but if you just love football and the X's and O's, I think it's a great alternative.
I love it, and I get caught up in watching them, but if you just watch the game and listen, then you can really enjoy it. But if you get caught up in watching them, then you're going to miss the game.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoy it. I think it's great for football.
Ethan kicks that, and that's fielded right near the goal line, and it's near. Well, that could have been a big return, but tripped up there at about the 31. So nice job by the Artesian special teams to make that tackle because that looked like trouble. But Meridian will start at the 31-yard line.
Now, their first drive, they seemed to want to run it, and they ran at the end of that second drive. Second drive, they seemed to pass it, so maybe coach has got some pressures dialed up here, and when they do get in the passing situation.
Coach Duggar talked about Meridian. They have a lot of plays, and they will kind of decide how they play call, what plays they're going to run based on the opponent. Low snap, but they hand it off. Bounces around the left side, lowers his shoulder, and gets a tough about 2 yards there.
Well, if any indication, I see the quarterback stretching out his arm there, kind of winding it up. Maybe he just told him it's going to be a pass. Always looking for any little thing a kid might do a little differently.
See what he does. 2nd and 7 here. Jeff Rollman here. Low snap again. He rifles it and is nearly intercepted, but immediately brought down on that far side. Artesian corner was right on it. I don't know. We'll see who that was. Might have been Logan Poppy.
It was Poppy.
Yep.
Great read on it. Broke on that ball, and they're lucky it wasn't 6. If it would have been higher, if it had been a better ball, it would have been pick 6.
I think that was actually a completed pass, so Rollman's still perfect. So 3rd and 7. Big chance for the Artesian defense to get off the field here if they can get a stop. Rollman throws it dart across the middle of the field, and it's enough for a first down. Needed about 7 yards, got 9.
Yeah, he throws. He's very accurate. He's a lefty, and he got a little fire on that ball.
That was McBride who had the touchdown reception earlier in the first quarter. Well, that first down catch and fresh set of downs for the Falcons. Under 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Fakes the handoff, Rollman, and nice tackle there, open field. Nice job at Artesian.
Looked like David Brenner on that tackle.
Yep, Devin Brenner, coach. Second half coming up. Artesian defense trying to dig their heels in. Saw Coach Cooper talking to the official. Looks like he wants the timeout to talk things over. The Falcons call their second timeout. And I want to take this pause to mention something very cool that the Martinsville girls basketball team is doing, kind of their version of March Madness here. Let me get this pulled up, but it's the Lady Artesian Basketball Frenzy, Martinsville Girls Basketball Frenzy. They're going to have a meet and greet, and former state champion Martinsville coach Jan Connor is going to be at the event. She's going to speak and have a chance to meet her. Also, you can meet and greet some of the former players that were on those championship teams. kind of watch the first girls basketball practice. And also going to have a guest speaker, Travis Daughtry from Champions 101. Concession stand will be open. It's October 18th, 7 to 9. Doors open at 6. It is the Martinsville Girls Basketball Frenzy. So if you can make it to that, it sounds like a cool event. As we're back to live action here. Roman's going to roll to his left, evades the defender. Now he just goes to flip it to save a sack. And it's incomplete pass. I don't see any flags for intentional grounding, so it will be 3rd and 9 coming up for the Artesian defense.
That was Nick Crone did a great job on that, put the pressure on, and this is more, I think Perry's kind of gotten away from there. They did a great job on that option and doing the, and this is what they've done. I think when you're playing a team like Artesians who can score quickly, it's kind of taken them out of what they want to do. Now they feel they have to be able to score quickly, and which plays right into the Artesians' hands.
This is a stop and feel like the Artesian defense has to have. They haven't really done a very good job of stopping third downs here in this first half. Roman, and he is going to get drugged down. Thought he was going to escape it. Not going to happen. Brought down, I think that was number 62 for the Artesians. Nick Crone came away with the sack, so back-to-back big plays for Nick Crone.
Yeah, that was exactly what they needed. Eric, remind me to tell you a story of going girls basketball. When I was at Lafayette Jeff, one of my best friends who was the head girls basketball coach brought his Lafayette Jeff team down to Martinsville to play the Jan Connor and for their senior night, which we'll have to talk to you about what senior night was back for those girls. And it ended up being a 2-hour. I mean, they didn't get back to 2:30 in the morning, but the stories about that night, he still haunts him. He says good friend of mine says he'll never come to Martinsville again.
Well, Coach, we've got some time, so if you want to expand on that story, go for it.
Well, they came down here, and Jan always did a big thing for her senior night, and the girls came out in go-karts and drove around, but they would turn the lights off, and it's not the current lights they had. Those when you turned the lights off and you brought the spotlights on in the old gym or the John R.W. gym at the high school, you had to flick those on, and it took them about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to warm up. So anyhow, so that was extended. So and the Lafayette Jeff team was really good. We had a girl that went to Notre Dame, but they came down here and just got drilled by the Artesians, and it didn't get back to 2:30. He says the biggest mistake he ever made, bringing his team down here.
It's a great story as Atkins is going to scramble, and he's just going to flip it, and it is caught. And nice job by Cheatham. Atkins, it's one of those that feel, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, but he throws that up there, and you're like, no. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, that's you see some of these NFL quarterbacks now. That was one of those plays where you just make something out of nothing, but worry about your receiver being stretched out like that. Glad he didn't take a hit.
So first down there for the Artesians on that improvised pass play from Atkins, and now Rick Bolton again and gets it out to the 45. So about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. And Coach, you tell that story, and I can confirm that that's what happened because I was there as a little kid. And I mean, that girls basketball team, I mean, the community just supported them so much. I mean, their regular season games, especially senior nights, were just jam-packed. And, yeah, lights went out. They had go-karts that they brought the players out, and it was a long, long event. So you're absolutely right on that story.
It's about an hour and a half, hour and 40-minute trip up to Lafayette from Martinsville. So it was a long haul to come down and take a butt whooping.
Our producer, Eric Meyer, saying they're not go-karts. They're like mini NASCARs is what they were.
That's what I was the.
He was the player to be named later in the trade.
Yeah.
Third down coming up for the Artesians. And yeah, Coach, you were head football coach at Lafayette Jeff. Coach Jan Connor was the head coach of Martinsville girls basketball, and you guys kind of traded schools. I don't know if the timing worked out exactly, but you guys eventually did trade schools. As get a pass, and it's Dilly who connects with a first down reception there.
Yes, I got to know Coach. She was there for 1 year, or I was there for a year before I came to Martinsville, and I talked to her a lot about coming down here, about the community, and she was telling what a great community, but she said it's a great community if you win, and I can vouch for that. It is fun when you win.
So fresh set of downs here for the Artesians. They cross midfield in Meridian territory, and a bad snap. I don't know if the Artesians were able to jump on it or not. We'll see. I I want to say Falcons got that, but maybe Atkins was able to jump on it. And Falcons got it. First turnover of the night is a fumble by the Artesians. Bad exchange from Atkins to Bolton, and Meridian takes over.
Eric, let's see if Perry goes back to running that football. Going back to, we had trouble with the option, and they ran it that first drive, and they really haven't gone back to it. So we'll see if they'll, if they're still, or if they're concerned about scoring with us, then they'll be completely out of their game plan. But that's one thing Coach said, they can be a little bit inconsistent. You don't know what they're going to throw at you.
And that fumbled exchange kind of reminds me, I know it's a different situation, but that's why Coach Duggar said they like to do that hot pass so much, is because if you mess that up and the receiver drops it, or it's just an incomplete pass, It's not a fumble, as opposed to handing it off as your receiver's coming through. I know that's not the exact situation, but just something Coach Duggar said that kind of, ooh, what a hit there, as Warren got to know Artesian defender, I think I was 93 maybe, Nathan Bird, who just wrapped him up and brought him down.
And see, that wasn't their option, because the quarterback on that one, if it was option, he should have pulled it because there was no one on the quarterback. They all committed to that. So I just said I don't see them running the option the way they were. It's something I would go back to if I were them.
And now Warren just walked up to the official. I think he might have something in his eye or something. He walked up to the official and said he needed a break. So I don't know if it's an equipment thing or what, but a little stoppage of play here. That 32, the running back for Meridian, he kind of requested from the official, but it looks like it was just an equipment thing. Looks like we're back ready to go.
And you kind of wonder with him going, he's on special teams, he's playing defense, he's out here playing offense, at what point that he's not going to be as fresh. So, it's always your worst time is usually right, you're going both ways, is right before halftime is when you're really hurting. So hopefully
little play there. McBride gets across the 50 and then gets hit about the 49. Five-yard pickup there. So big third down play here for the Artesians near midfield. 3rd and 5 from the Artesian 49-yard line. See if the Artesians can get another stop like they did last time they were on the field. A little toss play to Egan there, and they had the edge.
Oh, the official went down. Hope he's okay. Well, he took a hit. That was just a good old-fashioned sweep with the motion. And I tell you, who sprung that, Eric, was the same guy that we've been talking about all night, is number 32, Andy Warren, freshman. He set the block that broke that edge, and away they went.
Yeah, I thought Artesians had the edge there, but, Warren got that block and sprung Egan for a big 17-yard pickup. Number 17, good athlete for him. He's got 4 catches and has 3 carries, and he's over 60 yards, and he's going to have it again. Egan, and gets hit, spins off, and still on his feet, gets it across to the 25.
You're just playing gritty right there, refusing to go down.
8-yard pickup, 2 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the first half. And Meridian will get the football to start the second half. So if they can get some points on the board and then start the third quarter with the football, Artesians really need to get a stop here. And Rollman's going to roll out to his right. He's got a man. It's McBride. Did he catch it? He did. And I think touchdown, Meridian. I was waiting for that official to signal it. I thought he had it. He did. A 24-yard touchdown pass. Rollman to McBride for his second of the night. And Meridian has the lead back.
Looks like they're going for 2. I would not go for 2. I would not chase points this early. I would kick it, and I would want to chase points more later in the third quarter, fourth quarter, rather than starting it here in the first half.
A good thing for the Artesians. I think they've got 3, maybe 2 timeouts, but they've got 2 minutes left, so they've got time to maybe score here. As Meridian trying to go for 2, and Artesians have it sniffed out, I think. Nope, got away. But this time he's going to be bottled up, and you think the official would blow the whistle, and he did. But good fight there by Meridian. I thought Artesians were going to have him way back, but was able to escape it, and it was Egan who tried that play. And show a replay here of the touchdown, and a nice job by McBride, kind of stretch out for that.
Yeah, that was a great play and great ball. Put it right where only one guy could catch it.
And here's the replay. As you can see, yep, McBride there with the catch. Sorry, folks, I was looking at the wrong screen there. But yeah, that was the Meridian touchdown for McBride.
And I think that's what Perry does well. They need to run they need to be in down and distance where that was a second and short, second and medium, and now they can kind of dictate when they get in a bad bind and they have to start throwing. So the coach has kind of gotten away from that. And I said, I know that's what Coach Duggar said. They can be very impatient. But that was a blessing on that extra point, because I said now you're chasing points even more if this gets to be a shootout.
Yep.
And I've been in those and not fun.
Coach, you've been in a lot of shootouts at old Martinsville. You're the way your offense played, you guys could really put up some points, and you played some really good teams who could put up some points as well. So,
well, you said 2:03, and I'm thinking I don't even know if they need their timeouts with a 2 minute.
They may not.
They may
not.
Just scoot down the field, but I'm sure it's what they're working, and they've done a pretty good job at. But coaches wants to probably score by the end, so I know he wants to eat all that clock.
Right.
Of course, we know that if you watch Rodgers and the Packers, he only needed 37 seconds.
37 seconds to get in Mason Crosby's field goal range for the win. Unbelievable there. And Artesians have started out with good starting field position, because Meridian, they've kind of squibbed it ever since that big return, and now they might have to start delay of game. And that's something you usually don't see that on a kickoff, do you, Coach?
No, they must have blown the whistle, and they weren't up there and ready to roll.
Well, I saw the kicker kind of had the tee set, then he moved it. It's like he went from one side of the field to the one hash mark to the other. So maybe Coach wanted it somewhere different, and it just burned too much clock to move it. So going to be kicking from the 35. So good news for the Artesians here. Hopefully give them even better starting field position here. And that's going to go out of bounds. So 2 back-to-back penalties there for the Meridian special teams.
Yeah, that should probably be at the 40 now, shouldn't it?
I think so.
Usually it's 35, but since he kicked from the 40.
It's 35-yard line.
Well, but he kicked from 5 yards back, so it's the penalty is from where you kicked it.
So it should be at the 40. Got 2 officials there kind of waiting for the football. So here we go.
Now there is a flag down here. I'm not sure that's the same flag, is it? The officials picked it up.
I don't know if you'll have to explain to me. I don't know if Coach Duggar got an option of where he wanted the football or how he wanted to use that penalty, but regardless, it's going to be at the 40 like you said.
You can have him re-kick it or take it right there on the spot, which I would definitely take it right there on the spot.
Yep, I would agree. See if their team can go 60 yards. I know they can. 2 minutes, 3 seconds left and some timeouts in their pockets. Atkins, little screen pass here. And nice job. I think it's Garrett Skaggs who – Trevor Holt, I'm sorry. Or Trevor Hott, excuse me. I'm sorry. Trevor Hott with a catch there. Atkins rolls to his left, going to throw it. Dangerous pass.
Boy, right through number 7's hands there for the Falcons, Zachary Huckabee.
Yep, Zachary Huckabee. He had his hands on it, and that would have been a huge turnover. This defense already has one on the fumbled exchange And that's what led to the last score.
I wouldn't mind seeing Coach come back with another screen. They're all expecting you to go deep.
Atkins has time. Now he rolls to his right. And he's going to make some players miss. Scramble. Tries to get to the edge. He'll get the edge. And he'll just run out of bounds. So nice job to improvise there for Atkins.
Then I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go 3, that's me on you, 1st and 10.
13-yard scamper there for the first down.
As a heads-up play, our quarterback.
I like how Atkins didn't force anything. He can sometimes force the pass that's not there. That's why his interception numbers are a little higher than Coach Duggar would probably want.
We had a false start.
False start, yep.
Nothing hurt here. You're still in 2-minute mode.
And remember, Ethan Hantline's your kicker, so he's got some leg strength. So if you get it in that 35-yard field goal range, he should be pretty comfortable from there.
And don't be afraid, Pemberton's done a good job running the ball. I wouldn't be afraid to give it to him right here either.
And they will. A little draw play here. Pemberton, can't escape. Escapes the first tackle, couldn't escape the second, and gets it to about the 35-yard line. And Coach Duggar will call, I think, his one of his timeouts right here. First one of the half.
Nothing wrong with that play. It gets them back thinking that they'll still run it.
While I've got the break, I'll go ahead and remind our viewers that Martinsville Girls Basketball Frenzy is coming up October 18th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's kind of Martinsville Lady Artesians March Madness. Former state champion and Martinsville coach Jan Connor will be there, along with some of those former players who were on those state championship teams. Kind of be able to meet them and hear them speak. Also, guest speaker Travis Daughtry from Champions 101, and you'll be able to watch the first girls varsity basketball practice of the year. That's October 18th from 7 to 9. And second down pass here. Atkins, he's going to look to pass. He breaks one tackle, and he's just going to run it out of bounds. Ooh, gets hit late, and that's going to be a flag. That's a huge mistake by Meridian.
Yep, that one is going to cost them.
Yep.
So now we're going to get a first down. But what you hate about that's just one of those that just wasn't even needed. He was a good 6-7 yards out. Coach knows it for Perry.
And Atkins really didn't get a whole lot on that, maybe had 2 yards. So Meridian was looking at, 3rd and 10. But after the 15-yard penalty, it's a fresh set of downs, and the ball is at the Meridian 18-yard line. That's a killer for the Falcons, but a blessing there for the Artesians. Let's see if the Artesians can capitalize here before the half. Atkins rolls to his right, looking, and it is caught, and Mabry caught it. I think we might have
probably going to be holding.
I think no. I thought I saw a Meridian defender push. I thought we were going to get a pass interference, but it's a holding. So that's going to wipe out that nice first down catch.
Yeah, that official threw it early. When they throw it that early, you know what's coming. Oh, it was so quick, I don't even know how we could have done it that fast.
So, Coach, obviously your first goal is for 6 points here, but, the last thing you want is a negative play because you want to get a little closer for Ethan, but you definitely don't want to move back.
No.
So just smart decisions here. As Atkins, he's gonna go backwards. He's gonna get brought down.
Yeah.
Took about a 5-yard loss there on that sack. They've been close to Atkins, but he's been able to escape most of those pressures. That time he couldn't escape.
That was one of those situations where Perry just laid their ears back. They knew what was coming, and it was going to be a pass, and they didn't worry about the run. They sold out, and unfortunately, Atkins is the brunt of what's going to happen when that happens. That's almost impossible for your line to have to block that for any amount of time.
That's when you wish kind of that screen pass was called, but obviously coaches don't know. You throw that screen pass, kind of help out your line, your quarterback a little bit, but Atkins was looking to go a little deeper, and
yeah,
Perry Meridian got to him.
You know, what I love about the screen pass, it's just such a safe pass, and it works against if it's a stunning team or if it's a team that wants to drop. They're all back in that coverage, or they're laying their ears back, and then you let those guys go throw a couple linemen out there, and big plays happen.
So we'll see. What are you calling up here? Second 27.
I don't know. I was just trying to think what what his range would be.
Quick little pass to Cheatham, who takes a shot at around the 24-yard line, but gets quite a bit of yardage back. And Coach Duggar just kind of let the clock run. Maybe he might be looking just for a field goal here.
I think he's going to chuck her in the end, see if he can get it down there, get a first down, or chuck it in the end zone.
Atkins, he throws it. It is caught at and stretches out. I think he got it. He did. Wow.
What a play. What a play.
And I think that was Garrett Skaggs, number 16, who caught that and extended the football just enough across the goal line.
That was great. He rolled to his left a little bit, looking this way, and then just fired back to his right. Great job.
Here's the replay, Coach. Atkins looking, just throws it, has Garrett Skaggs, middle of the field. Nice ball thrown, then kind of extends the football there to get it across the goal line. And Artesians, what a play. They've got a 2-point lead, 21-19 with 16 seconds left to go.
And this all goes back, we talk about those, 4, 5, 6 plays. Well, that 15-yarder that they got, personal foul, was a big one.
So it's 3 touchdown passes for Tyler Atkins. And he's taking care of the football. Had that bobbled exchange that caused the fumble, but no interceptions for Atkins. He's had a couple throws they've been ill-advised, but so far has played a fairly clean, good football game.
He scrambled out there a couple of nice times. Been smart getting the first down. He's done his check downs, but boy, he's done a great job finding an open guy downfield.
Even though that's a good shot,
so now we're pretty sure Ethan Handline's going to kick this into the end zone. That's probably the plan, at least. Does Perry try anything, or do they just take a knee and go to the end zone?
They're going to take a knee here. They're already down 2. So they played a great half, and they're down 2 still. So probably not a good atmosphere in the locker room.
Ethan Handlin will actually squib kick it here. Oh, boy. There's not a whole lot of Artesian. And are going to their left side and finally drug down at the 50s, but only 3 seconds left. As fortunately, Braden Shake was there to bring down the return man for Perry Meridian, number 7, Zachary Huckabee. Had a nice return, but now you at least have maybe some options, and you still have 1 timeout if you're Perry Meridian. Still think they take a knee here, Coach?
I would take a knee and go into the half. The coach he's down there discussing some strategy possibly, but I'm going to go in at halftime. I'm going to have the ball when we come back out.
So Artesian's back. We got 3 4 defenders there near the 10-yard line, kind of a prevent defense, because you're not going to be able to use that timeout. This is pretty much going to be the last play of the half. We'll see what it is. Nope, I think Coach Cooper. Oh, Coach Duggar called that timeout. So Coach Duggar wants to make sure we don't have any problems or issues. So nearly halftime here, last play of the first half, more than likely, barring any penalties. But it's the Artesians 21, the Perry Meridian Falcons 19. After a great drive last time the Artesian offense had it, led to Tyler Atkins connecting with Garrett Skaggs on a great pass, great catch, and a great effort by Skaggs to get that football across the goal line for a 24-yard touchdown pass. Now the defense just can't give up any huge plays. And Artesian should go in with a just hand it off up the middle. And it's Warren. He's got a big gain there and finally tripped up. So pads the stats a little bit, but about a 30-yard run there for Warren.
Yeah, I was a little surprised they did that, but I was a little surprised how we played against it, but it ended up working out.
So then 13 Benfield, he was the one that had the kind of the possible touchdown saving tackle there at the end. But it's halftime here at the Ray Skillman Family Field at Perry Meridian High School. Artesians, they lead at 21-19. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back, kind of talk about the first half and what we'd expect in the second half right after this.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Do that.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolfert, president of the IHSAA Foundation. Lots of high school athletes here in Indiana have gone on to become collegiate All-Americans. A few of them have even turned pro. But participating in high school sports has helped virtually every high school athlete become a good American. That's because playing high school sports teaches life lessons like the importance of persistence, teamwork, tenacity, preparation, and hard work. The IHSAA Foundation was created to help high school administrators and coaches become more effective role models and teachers, emphasizing values that will help their players become better athletes, better representatives of their community, and better Americans. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Ray Skillman Family Field at Perry Meridian High School, American Birds. It's halftime here at the Mid-State Conference matchup between the Artesians and the Falcons. Martinsville leads it 21-19. Thanks for watching on IHSAA TV, WREP 15 broadcast. It's been an exciting game. Artesians, they started out really strong, marched down the field, and got a touchdown from Chase Mabry. But then Perry Meridian, they came right back, and they scored themselves. McBride had a touchdown reception to even it up at 7-7. And their Meridian defense kind of tightened things up a little bit, stopped the Artesian offense. Then once again, Meridian marched downfield, scored on a 1-yard run from Andy Warren. Was 13-7 at that point, and then White Shrake blocked the extra point, which turned out to be a big play. Artesians were able to get back on the board, regain the lead, 14-13. And then after a fumble on a exchange, the Meridian Falcons, they scored again. McBride had his second touchdown reception of the first half. Our Falcons went for 2, failed that conversion, and it was 19-14. And you think that's kind of what there was about 2 minutes left to go. Artesians were moving down the field. You didn't know if they would have enough time or get into the end zone, but Tyler Atkins found Garrett Skaggs on a 24-yard touchdown completion, and Artesians retook the lead 21-19, and that's where we sit here as the Artesians lead it 21-19. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back with some halftime stats and maybe talk with Coach Kutcherf about what to expect in this second half.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Do that.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolfert, president of the IHSAA Foundation. Lots of high school athletes here in Indiana have gone on to become collegiate All-Americans. A few of them have even turned pro. But participating in high school sports has helped virtually every high school athlete become a good American. That's because playing high school sports teaches life lessons like the importance of persistence, teamwork, tenacity, preparation, and hard work. The IHSAA Foundation was created to help high school administrators and coaches become more effective role models and teachers, emphasizing values that will help their players become better athletes, better representatives of their community, and better Americans. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
And welcome back, everyone. IHSA TV and WREP 15 Sports. Halftime here at Ray Skillman Family Field at Meridian High School. Artesians lead the Falcons 21-19. Take a look at some of those halftime stats from the first half. Meridian Falcon, they've got 142 rushing yards compared to the Artesians 55. Passing yards, the Artesians have that advantage, 151 compared to the Falcons 110. First downs even at 9, and the turnover battle, the Falcons are winning that. Artesians had that one fumble. Falcons playing clean football, have not turned the football over yet. We'll go ahead and show some of the first half highlights, some of the touchdowns from both teams from that first half. And here's that kind of jet pass, pop pass, whatever you want to call it, from Atkins to Chase Mabry for the first score. Artesians, took a nice opening drive there. Took a 7-0 lead. But Meridian, like I said, they came right back, and it was Rollman on the rollout play action and found McBride kind of back corner of the end zone. Came down with it, and that tied the game up 7-7. And then Artesians, fire their touchdown pass. That's second touchdown reception for Chase Mabry, both on the 19-yard addition. So 2 19-yard touchdown receptions for Chase Mabry. But Perry Meridian, they would not quit, and McBride says, Mabry, if you've got 2, I can get 2. McBride gets his second touchdown of the night. Kind of tied things up and went back and forth here. But Atkins, this is a play that ended the half here pretty much, as found Garrett Skaggs, and Garrett Skaggs, nice little stretch there to make sure he got into the end zone, and that puts us where we're at now, 21-19. Perry Meridian also had another touchdown after the fumble from the Artesians. So, Coach, what's kind of your take so far on the first half here for the Artesians? What have they done well? What do they maybe need to improve on?
Well, I think they moved the ball really well when they've needed to. They've got, I think they are a better team. They seem a little more physical. As far as I think where they've struggled is on defense and stopping that run. I think the run has kind of shocked them here a little bit. I know they were ready for it, but I think those young running backs for Perry are running hard. They're hitting those holes. And, boy, when they get north and south, they go. And then the young quarterback has thrown, I think, fairly well. He's thrown, the corner route. He's thrown a nice job. And I think that's where Perry's do at their best, is when you don't know if they're going to throw it or run it. They do their play action, and then they roll him out. But I think that you saw the defense have had their moments. I just think they need to get more consistent, come out and just do what they do, and they can't make these silly mistakes. I thought that at the end of the half, where when Atkins finds who was the touchdown to?
Garrett Skaggs.
I thought that was, right there was kind of maybe the one that will set this thing open here, because now what's Perry thinking in the locker room? What are we going to have to do to score with them? And Perry's got to be thinking, we played a pretty good half except for a couple drives. So I would say do what they're doing, but I wouldn't be afraid to open it up. And if Perry wants to try to score, which I don't think they can, wants to try to score with us, then let him play that game.
Well, Rollman, the Perry Meridian quarterback, if my stats are right, only 1 incompletion for him. I think Tyler Atkins only has 3 of his own, so both quarterbacks have been very efficient in that first half. So Perry Meridian, they will start the third quarter with the football. But, Coach, we kind of talked about the Artesian defense. It seems like in the third quarter, Artesian defense, that's when they've really been strong, and it's really been hard to score against the Artesian defense in the third quarters.
And Eric, agree with you 100%. I think that's been they go back in, regroup, talk about it. I think Coach Trump does a good job of making a few adjustments. I'm just kind of surprised that Perry has not come back to that option a little bit more often with the read. Even when I noticed the option was open, I don't know if they're reading it at this point, because the quarterback could have pulled it, but he didn't. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the night. But I think the key is going to be the defense. And if they can come out here and get a stop, this is very important, whether it's a big turnover. But don't let them put them in a bad situation. Don't let them play their game where it's second and third, second, fourth. Then you don't know what they're going to do.
So there you have it for the kind of the first half rundown. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Coach Kutcher, maybe talk about what Artesians need to do in the third quarter a little differently to try to get another conference win. So we'll be right back after this.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Do that.
And welcome back, everyone, to WREP 15 broadcast, and thanks for watching live through the IHSAA TV. Halftime here, Meridian High School Artesians lead it in this Mid-State Conference matchup, 21-19. Our producer Eric Meyer and the Coach Brian Duggar Coaches Show talked a little bit with Coach Duggar about how young this Meridian team is, and we've talked about Andy Warren as the freshman, and he's just such a good athlete. And Coach Duggar kind of gave some insight on the youth of this Meridian football team. So actually, this is Coach Cooper from Meridian talking about the youth of his.
Really had 0 statistical returners this year on offense or defense, and so it was really going to be a coin flip. We thought we had some good talent coming up that was young but very inexperienced. We came out of the gates pretty well, had a close game against FC, and then beat Southport and Franklin Community. And then we got banged up a little bit, and we've caught a turnover bug the last couple of weeks, and so we haven't played up to our ability like we did weeks 1 through 3. But we're growing, and every week with young kids, it's a challenge, and so we're trying to get everybody in the right spot, in the right position, and to play hard for 48 minutes.
That's Meridian head football coach, Coach Cooper, talking about the youth of his football team. And Coach Duggar on his coach's show did talk about that as well. And Coach Kushroff, we've seen some of that youth, especially the Andy Warren, the running back, special teams player, and defensive player, the freshman who's made all kinds of plays.
Well, what I'm impressed with, they're a young team, but they're competing. I know they, even in looking at their past game, even though they're 2-4, they have been in games, and they've kind of, I think, at the second half have eventually kind of wore out, and that's a sign of a young team. So hopefully we're going to see that tonight. But the future looks very bright.
Well, we've seen Meridian offense. They've done a lot of different things. They've seen it go through the air, go through the ground, play some really tight formations, spread it out a little bit, do some jet sweeps. So offensively, Meridian very skilled, very talented. Coach Cooper also talked about what the Falcons like to do offensively.
Pro multiple, which means that we are a pro-style offense within spread principles and formations. No tight end. We play with an H wing back. We'll run power and inside zone and some outside zone. We've got a pretty good wideout who's quick, and so we'll get him the ball on the perimeter. And we're a pretty decent play action team, and our quarterback can move pretty well.
So that was Coach Cooper talking about offensively what Meridian likes to do. Coach, what have you? What's kind of been your thoughts, input on the Meridian offense as you've seen it so far?
Things that appears, I would say that I would stick with that running game, and I would base everything off the running game. They got some good little athletes. Quarterback throws it well enough, and then when you get that defense thinking about the run, and then all of a sudden you hit them with the pass deep, and they've caught us on that a couple times. So I've been impressed with them, and I do have to agree with Coach Duggar was saying. They do get impatient, I think, a little bit. If they had stuck to that run a little bit, when they went back to the run, that's what kind of put us in a bind. And, of course, when they scored second and short there, they threw that fade to the end zone and got them. But once they get their identity, I always wanted to do something. When I was coaching, I wanted to be able to do something. We do this really well. And they're kind of a jack of all trades right now. And whenever he narrows that down, and maybe it is because they're young, I think they're going to be really effective in the future.
And then Coach Artesian defense, they've had some good moments, some not so good moments. But the Meridian offense have kind of hit them from all sides. Coach Duggar, this is Coach Duggar talking on the coaches show, talking about Meridian's defense and what he was expecting coming in tonight's game.
Job of kind of bringing some energy back and teaching fundamentals and football the right way. That they're a sound football team. We're going to have to show up and execute and do things right. It's not the Perry of the last 5, 6, 7 years where you play bad, you could still beat them. This is a team that could easily beat us.
That was Coach Duggar talking about the Artesian defense. Coach Kutcher, I know you've got a relationship with Coach Trump, the defensive coordinator of Artesians. What have you seen from the Martinsville defense, and then what are they going to have to maybe change or scheme a little differently, do a little differently in the second half to keep Perry Meridian points off the board?
Well, I think we got to tackle better. I know it's tough to duplicate some of the things you're seeing because you can't really go live. You don't want to go live one-on with your ones against your defensive ones because you don't want anybody to get injured. But I don't think we've wrapped up very well. We've had them a couple times in the backfield, and they've slid off. And I think that's one of the keys. The other one I would say is, again, it goes back to the contain. Every time the quarterback has found his guys down the field, he's been able to roll out a little bit. And I think if you can keep him in that pocket, and I would bring the pressure on him. We've sacked him a couple times. He doesn't handle the pressure very well. And I would say the same thing for Perry. Perry is kind of set back. They're both sitting in those 3-3 stacks. I'm not a 3-3 stack guy, but if I was in it, I would be stunning and coming from every direction. And Perry is really kind of set back and let our offense dictate what it wants to do. I would be coming from all edges. They have put an extra guy in the line of scrimmage, and I think that's probably some of their most, besides their running backs, some of the most athletic guys are on that front four for Perry.
We've got about 20 seconds left before this second half gets underway, and I'm watching the teams kind of get warmed up here before the second half, and I'm looking at Perry Meridian. You coach for a 6A school. Obviously, you have more student body, more students to choose from. Maybe putting you on the spot here a little bit, but what do you think of the size of the football team? And I'm not talking about height and weight. I'm talking about just pure numbers. Is this a good numbers for varsity football for Perry Meridian, a 6A school? Would you like to see it a little bit more? Is this a pretty good team here, numbers-wise?
Well, I think you have to look at where they've been. They've been rebuilding. I mean, they haven't had a winning season in, I'd have to look back, it's maybe been 10, 12, 13 years. So the coach has to come in and rebuild. This is their new home. They've been here 3 or 4 years. I don't know when this stadium was built, but so they're trying to build some identity. They've had some guys in. I know the superintendent was always a guy that wanted to win. So they got a guy in. I think they're going to have to be patient with him. But yeah, you'd always like to see your numbers, but I don't know what kind of strength coach they got. You don't know what's happening. I think they're committed to it. You can see it. And what I've seen, I watched them play our middle schools last night. I saw the 7th grade. They had some good-looking kids on there, had good numbers. So I think if they and I'm looking at that running back, boy, he is built like a tree trunk. So I see some good things happening. I mean, unfortunately, I don't want them to get too good because we're in our conference. But as you win, numbers will grow. Kids want to be a part of a winning program. But I tell you this, as a football coach, it's tougher to get kids out today because you can sit inside and play Xbox. You can be on your phone. You can be in the air conditioning, but you got kids playing soccer. You got kids playing travel baseball. So we have to share all these athletes, and I think that's something that the coaches all have to do. I know football coaches do, and it's tough to get the kids out the way you used to because there's other things for them to do. And it's you finding those a lot of times, and the parents aren't even introduced to it.
You say winning does play a big role. It absolutely does. You look at Martinsville. They had those 2 seasons where they only were able to get 1 win. Numbers were really down, and then Coach Whitson comes in, reintegrates the program, re-energizes it, and numbers kind of doubled almost as far as participants go. So we've kicked off the 3rd quarter here. Perry Meridian will return it, and Egan will get wrapped up just shy of the 25. It's a good job corralling number 17. He's hurt Martinsville on the ground a few times tonight.
That was a good way to start. Devin Brenner gets a nice hit. I could hear it up here. That's always we used to do. Tell my guys if a blind guy was watching the game, could he hear it? And that was one you could definitely hear.
So Perry Meridian pretty balanced offensively in that first half. 142 rushing yards, 110 passing yards. So pretty balanced here. Fake it to Egan on the jet, and they hand it on the inside and just shy of the 30-yard line.
And I think that type of offense right there, coming off that jet, we're reading it. It looks like just a jet trap there. I think that's the most effective thing. And now they're sitting at a good down and distance here. Now, are they going to run it? Are they going to, they could throw a short pass. Really put your defense in a bind here. I always hated second and short.
Nolan Reuter in there on that tackle for the Artesians on it from the defensive line. Fakes it to Warren. Fakes the pass and just slides, and we're going to get a late flag. And as Rollman was sliding, an Artesian defender was coming in for the tackle, and he kind of leapt over him, trying to avoid it, but official said that it was, yep.
Well, Eric, I just don't know about that call. I know the kid is sliding, so he's giving himself up. But when he went in to hit him, the kid had not slid yet, so then he comes over the top. You know, I never want to see a kid get hurt, but that's a tough one. You're darned if you do, darned if you don't, and you kind of caught in no man's land. Now, maybe he might have hit his head or something. Maybe we didn't see that part.
It's a catch-22 in all levels of football that we're having. You want to keep players safe, but you also want to keep football the same. As nice job by kind of a bounce back there for the Artesians. Bryce Norton made that tackle for loss, so about a 5-yard loss on that play.
Now, he came underneath, which is great. You had a guy setting the edge, so the guy turns it up, and that's probably the way they were playing, I would assume, the fly offense last week, because you got that trying to get to that outside. So that was a good, nice play. Good job setting the edge. I believe setting the edge there was Braden Shrake out there who set the edge.
Fires it over the middle and off the hands of Logan Poppy. He almost had interception number 5 there.
A little bit more fire seems like coming on the Artesian sideline and flying around out there a little bit more.
And Coach is number 10 quarterback for Meridian. He puts it all in there when he makes a throw. He might need to just take a little bit off sometimes. Not saying that was an instant he needed to do that, but I feel like every throw he's thrown has been a rifle.
He's got to learn a little touch.
3rd and 15. Rollman rolls out, and he's going to loft it up and incomplete.
Egan's pass intended for Isaiah Hunter, incomplete.
Tried to get it to Isaiah Hunter there, and Coach, it looked like Rollman had a lot of green in front of him. He could have tucked it and ran. He probably could have maybe not got the first down, but got awfully close and made 4th down interesting.
Yes, he did. But I like the throw he made. I mean, if he'd have taken a little bit off of it and put a little air under it, his receiver could have probably ran under a little bit. But those are tough throws for any kid, for a pro to make, let alone a high school kid to make that throw. But
rolling to your left, kind of having to throw it across your body like that as Meridian will punt it away. It'll take a Falcon roll, and nice punt there for the Falcons, and it'll keep rolling. Wow. And it'll be down at around the 10-yard line, so nice punt there for Meridian. They flip the field, but the Artesians, they force the Meridian Falcons to punt it, and you get to see this Artesian offense in the second half, see what they any adjustments that they make.
That was a good, we talked about at halftime. That was the series the defense needed, got a little momentum, and now the offense, got a chance to put a drive together here. I think the Perry defense, their weakness is their DBs. I would really go after that. I know we can run the football, but I would really run some routes that would exploit some, put them in a bad situation because they don't seem to cover very well.
Throws it out in the flat there, trying to get Mabry in space, makes a man miss, and gets it out to about the 20-yard line, so about a 7 or 8 yard pass play there. Nice job by Mabry to make a couple defenders miss on that outside edge.
That was a great cut.
Martinsville pass complete, pickup of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2.
Only the 3rd reception for Mabry, but the other 2 were touchdowns, so Mabry's making the catches count here tonight. Hands it off. I think that's Riddick Bolton, and has about a tough 3 yards, but has enough for the first down.
Move the chains.
Number 35, Riddick Bolton on the carry. First down, Martinsville.
Hands it off again. Riddick Bolton with near the 25, 26-yard line for about 3 or 4 yards.
you don't realize those plays, those inside plays where you're hitting that dive and you're hitting those backers and you're putting your hands on those linemen, really kind of takes its toll by the fourth quarter. Those guys that are playing defense, it takes a lot more energy to play defense than it does offense. They start getting tired.
Fakes that. Gives a nice open play there. It's Dilly who gets it to the 40-yard line across that. A 19-yard pass play there.
I don't think they could stop the slants from post all night. Those have been wide open, and Atkins has done a good job of looking off and throwing it right in the pocket.
Little pop pass there. And it's Hott who gets it near midfield.
Number 6, Trevor Hott, the ball carrier. Pickup of 6 on the
Ended up
play,
being about a
second
6-yard pass play there.
And when you run that jet, we used to tell our guys, you run to the sidelines until you see daylight and cut it up. And I always say, well, why didn't he keep running? Well, I would assume he saw a hole, and when you see that hole, you dart up and look at the nice 8-yard gain you got.
And we've got some movement there on the Artesians. So another penalty for Martinsville. They've kind of hurt themselves with penalties tonight.
You don't see, was that the center?
I think so.
You don't see the center do that very often.
Push Artesians back to 2nd and 8. And a hot pass there to Mabry, who cuts it upfield, breaks a tackle, gets it across the 50 to about the 48-yard line. Close to a first down, not quite there.
Number 5, MJ Campbell. Pickup of 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Martinsville.
3rd and short coming up here for the Artesians. Riddick Bolton is going to be behind Atkins there in a kind of a pistol formation. Gives it to Bolton, and flag comes late.
I would hope that's a face mask on them.
I would hope so too. I mean, the way that flag was thrown and where it was thrown from, I'm guessing that's probably what it is.
During the run, face mask, 5 yards. Will be added on to the end of the run and a first down, Martinsville.
So another first down for the Artesians. So methodical drive here. Just keep grinding on the Falcon defense. Artesians forced the Meridian to punt it, their opening drive of the second half, and now Artesians marching it downfield. This drive started from their own 10. And Riddick Bolton again.
And I really like coaches being patient here because, trust me, Eric, I wanted to throw it as bad as anyone. But they're running 2 high safeties, and that's just telling Atkins that, look, we can run the football. You got 2 safeties up there. That means you really got 7 guys up protecting that are trying to stop the run. With those 2 guys up there, I'm going to run the football because they don't have enough guys in the box.
Riddick Bolton found a hole there. And
Number 35, Riddick Bolton, the ball carrier. It's good for a Martinsville.
We'll have to see if Coach Duggar can be patient enough. You know, we always talk about being patient and keep doing, but if they're going to keep those safeties up there, they just can't stop us if we want to run the football. And we can go inside or outside.
Riddick Bolton, 9 carries in this game. And Riddick Bolton always ends up with positive yards most of the time. Give it to him again, just right up the middle and across the 20 to about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, this is definitely not what Perry wanted to see.
Quick, kind of hurry up there. Gets it to about the 15.
Bolton carries the ball again. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for Martinsville.
3rd and short. The down and distance, Riddick Bolton has been really successful. And makes a good job, by Riddick Bolton to make that Perry Meridian defender who came right through there.
Yeah, that was great vision for me because that Perry guy had just stopped that play cold, and Riddick made a great cut, great vision to turn that into a first down.
And this is, Coach, this has to wear on a defense. They've been out there a long time, and they're just kind of getting pounded with the ground game. Now Atkins is going to roll and gives it to Dilly, and going to be just shy of the end zone.
Number 17.
And this is where Martinsville's been a really effective offense. It's real easy to say, well, why won't the defensive coordinator for Perry, why won't he bring one of those safeties down and put another guy in the box? But Atkins has been so successful throwing when he wants to as well. They're more afraid of that big score pretty quick. So it pretty easy pickings for the Artesians.
Fake it to Mabry, give it to Riddick Bolton, dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Riddick Bolton, he put in all the work and finally got the reward, the 1-yard touchdown for the Artesians. Puts them up 27-19.
And, Eric, this is what I was talking about first half. I hate chasing points in the first half, so if we get this extra point, here we are, had a long drive, middle of the third quarter, late in the third quarter now. Now it's a 2-score game. And that, so 2-score game, and if they'd have kicked that extra point, there really would have been only with a 2-point conversion, would have been 1 score. And that does play. It's a different mindset on your team when they're sitting there, okay, now I'm 2 scores, and they don't know if they can stop us.
Right.
They start second-guessing themselves, especially when you're a young team.
Absolutely, especially after the third quarter here as you take a look here at the touchdown the Artesians got. Kind of all eyes going to Mabry, and they don't give it to him. They hand it up the middle to Riddick Bolton, dives into the end zone for the score. But, also the mindset of this third quarter, our Artesians get a defense, then just a long 90-yard methodical drive, and just kind of feel some of the energy. We're on the home sideline, obviously. You kind of feel some of that energy that they had in that first half kind of sucked out a little bit.
Yeah, and that's when you're 2-4, and I think that's what's happened to a lot of their games. They played them tough, and now it's starting to wear on them. And that was a tough drive on them because I'm not sure if you got how many times they ran the football there, but.
And when you kick off, deep for the Falcons.
Riddick Bolton just himself carried that about 8 times. He had 8 or 9 carries on that, and then a few of the passes that Atkins has were those kind of pop passes, so that are basically extensions to the handoff there. So really focused on the ground game that drive, and it paid off. A high little pooch kick. You don't see Ethan Handline kick many of those, but a shot is taken there. Number 3 of the Artesians with the hit. That was Caden Townsend.
Another nice hit. Artesian special teams having a little fun with that.
Yep. So Perry Meridian will have it at the 25-yard line. 4:53 left to go in the third quarter.
Now we'll have to see if Perry can do what they've been successful at. Run the football, run that option, pass off of it, not get himself in a bad down and distance situation.
Hands it off to Warren, spins forward for about a 4-yard pickup there.
Warren the ball carrier. Pickup of 3 for the Falcons.
Second about 6 coming up for Falcon offense. Artesians show pressure. And a little play action and finds his man, Rollman. Ooh, what a shot.
Yeah, the defense is flying around. That was he had a nice pickup, but our defense having a little fun.
First reception there by number 14.
But again, Perry, good job of ran the ball and then sets up, they get a decent run and you're sitting at 2nd and 6. Now it gives them, a little short pass to the tight end, and I guess you'd call him an up back.
Bryce Blessing with the reception for the Falcons there. And they've got Egan wide open on the far side, but they missed him, but they've got McBride. And McBride catches it. And Perry Meridian, they strike right away. A 63-yard touchdown, and that is the 3rd touchdown reception for McBride.
Well, he's definitely having a night.
And, Coach, I don't know if you saw, but number 17, Landon Egan, was also wide open coming down the sideline. So Perry Meridian not only got one, but they got 2 of their receivers behind the Artesian defense. And
yes,
there's a replay of it, and you see McBride there, but then there's the other receiver, Egan, and he was also wide open. So
unless they don't have any confidence in their kicker, I'm not sure why they're doing this. You're going to only be a field goal down to win it.
Rollman's going to try to keep it. He's going to get stopped.
And I said they may know something I don't. Maybe they don't, could be a kicking situation.
And if you go back to the first quarter, after that first touchdown, Perry Meridian had their kicker, the extra point was good, but it was a line drive, just kind of skimmed over the crossbar, and the second kick was blocked by Wyatt Shrake. So I think that that might factor into why Coach Cooper's deciding to go for 2, because that instance right there, I'd rather be down 2 than down 3. So that way, if I need a field goal, I can have it for the win instead of the tie. But
Coach Cooper, I need to give him some of the polecat offense, because that's what we did. We did the polecat when we were down there. Sometimes we would break and then go into the kicking formation. And just really, defenses had a tough time covering it down there. But that was because right now they would only be a point down.
Now, Coach, kind of describe best you can to our viewers, to our listeners, what the polecat offense is.
Polecat is we take all of our linemen and put on one side of the field with one receiver and a running back, and then we'd take a center where the ball is in the middle of the field with a holder with the quarterback, and I put a couple guys to the right, or maybe only one, depending on how many guys I put to the left, and then they have to cover. So the defense has to cover where they put are they going to put everybody over where your linemen are to the left, or are they going to cover your receivers to the right? They have to make a decision. So if you can get in a bind and you can get a 2-on-1, and that's what you're looking for. If they cover it and they match up, you snap and you go in, and we called it our elephants. They on parade went over and lined up for the extra point. And then the quarterback became the holder. No one liked me having the quarterback as the holder because some people take a cheap shot at him.
And Luke Cheatham covers that up at around the 35, 36-yard line.
First down, Martinsville.
We'll have to see what they do defensively if they'll come out of those 2 high safeties. If they don't, I'm coach. I'm sitting now. I've still got a 3-point lead. I'm gonna do what I do, and they're staying with those 2 high. They just don't have enough men in that box to stop the run.
See what Coach Duggar has the Artesians do here on this drive. First one's a handoff, and it's Riddick Bolton. Gets across the 40 and just continue. That was Weston Pemberton, on that carry.
Number 26, Weston Pemberton on the ball carrier. Second down and 5.
So it was Riddick Bolton most of the drive last time the Artesians had it. Now it's Weston Pemberton out there running the football. Both having the same result, though. Close to a first down, maybe just about a half yard shy.
Pemberton getting the ball carrier. Pick up a 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 1.
This is a first down of your Artesians you really want to have happen because you don't want to give all the momentum back to Perry Meridian.
Well, now they're running it. They got one pulled over here, so they have tried to slide another guy in the box, but they still just don't have enough.
Uh-oh. And that's going to be movement on the Artesians there.
Ball start on the offense. Repeat, third down.
So 3rd and 6. So we'll see Artesians, see if they go to the air this time.
I'd come back to that post.
Actually, it's a draw play, and it's up the middle, and it's enough for the first down.
Or I would do that. And that is a good call by Coach Duggar. I mean, and he's being very patient. I know Tyler Atkins is probably wanting, them to get that safety out up there, but until they do, I mean, they're taking 3 guys to cover our 2 guys over here, and that's just crazy.
Gets Garrett Skaggs there on that route. About 11-yard pickup and a first down.
Garrett Skaggs is complete. Pickup of 12 yards and a first down for Martinsville.
And they haven't come out of it. They put 3 guys on Mabry and Cheatham, whatever on that. Basically, I think a lot of it is Mabry's attracting them.
About 3 yards on that carry for Pemberton.
Pickup of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6.
Well, the offensive linemen have to be loving this because this is what they want to do. They always want to run the ball. Big fellows don't get to hit guys very often, so.
It's about the 35, so that time only about a 2-yard pickup maybe.
But if I'm sitting here I'm in 2-down territory. I'm not gonna probably kick this one just to make sure. Just probably a little bit out of the range.
Now Perry Meridian crowd here tries to make some noise, get into it a little bit. It's the loudest they've been in the second half. 3rd and 5. It was 3rd and 6 when the Artesians converted on that draw play.
I'm sorry. I'm going to run the ball here. I look at that big gap right there.
Nope. And that's
nice.
a
play
completion
action.
there, a play action. Braxton Dilly. Yep.
Well, I'm 0 for 2 the last 2 plays.
Braxton Dilly's had a really nice night. Several catches, little pop pass to Mabry. He was hit out of bounds, not much there.
Number 31, Chase Mulberry, the ball carrier.
I think Coach was wanting to get him involved a little bit. He's over there kind of hasn't touched the ball in a while.
And that's going to happen when you've, I think, the 2nd in the state in receptions is Chase Mabry coming into tonight's game. So going to get a lot of attention, number 31 is, probably from here on out. Weston across the 20 to about the 19, so bring up 3rd down again.
I think what's kind of special about this bunch, after talking to Coach Trump and Coach Duggar, there's no selfish one in the bunch. They're all happy for each other. Sometimes you got a lot of good athletes like that. You don't have enough footballs to go around. These guys, as long as they're winning and whatever's working, they're going to go with it and carry out Coach's plan.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We've got a good one here at Perry Meridian High School. It's the Artesians 28, the Falcons 25. We'll come back with the 4th and final quarter right after this.
Don't do that.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is game time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
And welcome back, everyone. WREP 15 production. Thanks for watching on IHSAA TV. I'm Eric Burns, along with Coach Fred Cuttriff. Fourth quarter, Artesian's driving. They've got the ball in Meridian territory. Third down. Fakes the hot pass. Got Garrett Skaggs wide open. Easy. Pitch and catch there. 19-yard touchdown. Tyler Atkins to Garrett Skaggs for his second touchdown reception of the night.
They've been running that jet, or you call the pop pass, and they've been running that, and then they faked it. And boy, the people at home can't really, I don't know if you can really tell what a great ball Tyler is throwing. That is on the money, got a good spiral going on it. That ball is spinning, and he's hitting his target in stride.
Kick is up, and it is good. So 35-25. Artesians with a 2-score lead against the Meridian Falcons.
Now this is the time, Eric. I know I had about 3 or 4. I'd have a couple guys in the box. I'd have a guy on the sideline. I'd have my own. All coaches have a little card that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. And I would be start already, so they get tired of hearing it. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? And you always followed that card unless you had a gut feeling, which sometimes didn't go well. But
Featuring the 3 separate attractions, a haunted hospital, a condemned house, and a bizarre barnyard filled with lots of free.
So the Artesians, Falcons. Here's the last touchdown here. Tyler Atkins in the shotgun there and just kind of fakes that jet pass, pop pass, whatever you want to call it. And Meridian bid on it and found Garrett Skaggs wide open, perfect ball thrown. And Garrett Skaggs has his second touchdown reception of the evening. So Chase Mabry has 2 19-yard touchdown receptions, and Garrett Skaggs has a 19-yard touchdown reception and a 24-yard touchdown reception. So Artesian's really doing well right at the edge of the red zone there from that around that 19-yard line so far tonight. And that was going to be taken around the 18-yard line and wrapped up just shy of the 30-yard line.
it really shows you what kind of respect Coach has for number 17. I think his name's Eagle. Or Egan, sorry, Landon Egan, because our kicker usually puts it in the end zone, but they just don't want, he had that nice return, he took off, he didn't quite get it there, and we don't want the ball anywhere near him because he is fast.
Yeah, he's shown he's fast on special teams and on offense, opened the pretty much offensive portion of Meridian's of this game with a 40-yard run. There he is in motion now. Low snap, though, and it's a ball's on the football, and I think the Artesians recovered it. And, Coach, they were trying to get it to Egan again, and he's had success with that play, but that time kind of a bobbled snap, and they tried to get it to Egan late and kind of got it on his hip and just couldn't hang on to it.
And part of a young team, you're in a battle, and things are happening around you, and you just don't focus for that split second, and a mistake, and you've turned the ball over.
So Artesians get their first takeaway of the evening, and it was like the same way they kind of turned it over. They had a bad exchange that Meridian was able to jump on, and this time it's the Artesian defense doing that. Now Meridian, they scored a touchdown off that turnover. Let's see if the Artesians can do the same and really put some distance between them and the Falcons here in the fourth quarter. Fakes the handoff. Atkins gets it to Dilly, who gets it around the 5-yard line.
Nice play.
Yep. 22-yard reception.
Now, Eric, I heard Eric Meyer in the background calling that play out. I think I should have had him on my staff. I don't know how he sniffed that one out. But the production manager, whatever we call Eric around here, who runs this whole show, boy, he had a keen eye for that one.
All right, they push him in. Yeah, we go.
And Chase Mabry there caps off this drive with a 5-yard touchdown reception.
I'm going to go to 4, and then we're going to go back to 1.
Coach, between our producer Eric Meyer's football knowledge and your football knowledge, my job's pretty easy. All I have to do is talk about the action. You guys make this broadcast go real smooth.
I think Eric maybe hanging those years around us when we were doing the show and think maybe that's finally rubbed off on him. I do want to comment. I tell you, you guys, being a part of this has been really fun this year. And I always knew what kind of work Eric and you did it. But Eric Meyer, we've got one of the top TV production programs in the state, award-winning. Very proud. I know Martinsville knows we have it, but I don't know. I know the ticket takers, talking to some of the student workers that came here to be part of the production, your camera folks. And I know the ticket takers like, well, how many kids do they have working here and doing this? I mean, so quite a commitment from our students as well. I mean, they got to take time out of their Friday night to come here at away football game. So it's really pretty special, neat part of Martinsville. And I'm fired up that we have got something very similar, I think, started at the middle school that Eric's going to help us with. We got Kinja Fraley, who wants to kind of mock just exactly what the high school is doing and get it set. So we're really just want to say what a great program and great thing for Martinsville. I don't know if people realize what you guys do.
Yeah, great program. I know students really enjoy it. They learn a lot. Then also you have South Elementary School. They kind of have that media portion of their curriculum and things like that. And what you're starting, Coach Kutcher, at the middle school. Good to see. Good to see Martinsville have this and be able to do this, and also good for the community because they get to access it and turn on Channel 15 or YouTube or HSA TV and watch these broadcasts if they're not able to get to some of these games. As Ethan puts his foot in at that time and puts it into the end zone.
Well, we're hoping with Eric's help that we're going to be able to, we can't do all of the middle school games, but we want to do a few of them a year and get the kids being able to do that. So we have ordered some equipment that we hope we'll get soon, and to be able to, and hopefully by next year, I don't know if we can do it this year, that Ms. Fraley can get that up and running for the middle school, and we can do a few games and give the kids a taste of it.
It's such a good thing, and I know a lot of schools are starting to do the streaming and different things like that, but it's such a good thing for those grandparents that maybe can't make it to their kids' games, or Artesian fans or relatives that live out of town or out of state, to be able to access it and watch games like that, events like that. Really nice to see, as a hard hit there taken by Egan, but he gets a nice completion there and a first down for Perry Meridian. So Coach, if you have to be Coach Cooper here, it's 42-25. You still got pretty much the whole fourth quarter left. What are you telling your guys? What are you game planning? What are you trying to do?
Well, you want to tell them play for pride. You're not telling them you're out of it, but this game's probably pretty well. It's pretty well done. You need a score here, so you want to do what you do. You want a positive drive here. You don't care how much time it takes to go back and do. So the kids leave feeling positive that even though they get beat, they were in a battle, and you got to build on it for next week, because here, I would assume, I don't know how the sectional draw will go for them, but they're probably not going to do very well in the 6A sectional. I mean, they could draw Ben Davis, or I think maybe Avon is in theirs as well. I have to see who's in their sectional, but maybe even Center Grove. I don't know. So you just got to build on next year, and you got to so the kids want to get in the weight room and be part of it. And I think they got a good base to build from.
Well, he's going to go deep. He's going to try to catch Egan, who's got his man beat, and he's going to score. And there you go, Coach. Yeah. A 57-yard strike from Rollman to Egan.
Yeah, that was, hit him right where he needed to. Now that's where Coach Duggar's going to be. He's got to be concerned going against next week's the rival, and we know how many points Mooresville can put on, and Mooresville's a much better passing team than Perry. So I know that's going to be one of the things Coach really focuses on this upcoming week.
And Egan, a junior, so he'll be back next year. So this young team, and you'll have Egan next year as a senior. You've got some weapons offensively for sure, and that time they kick it through. That didn't look like any problem there for the Parameridian kicker. And it's back to a 10-point game. and does not get any easier for either one of these teams. Hard to believe, Coach, but there's only 2 more weeks of regular season high school football. Perry Meridian next week, they play Decatur Central. It was the top of the Mid-State Conference standings going in tonight. Artesians, you mentioned the big county rivalry battle for the M Trophy. They will play Mooresville Pioneers. You know how talented of a football team they are. Their only loss on the season was to Decatur Central. So both these squads have big opponents coming up next week. And the Artesians, like I said earlier in the broadcast, they're still looking to get a share of that Mid-State Conference championship. They need a little help from Decatur Central, but they've got a shot at least getting maybe a share of it.
Well, if you go into next week, I mean, that gives your kids something to play hard for. And besides, Mooresville is going to give them a reason to play hard anyhow. But there's always a chance. But like Perry's got to feel, we talked about, got to feel good. The kids didn't. They haven't quit. They're playing hard. Now we just got to come out with a nice drive. And I would say Coach is going to. He's going to keep it on the ground and do his thing, but every time I try to predict him, he does something totally opposite.
Let's see how Perry Meridian Special Teams handles this. I hear some of the fans underneath the press box here kind of grumbling. They haven't really liked those high pooch kicks, and Artesians getting the ball at the 35 every time. It's another short kick taken at about the 26, and Weston's trying to find some space and gets it to about the 35-yard line again.
And that's where the fans sometimes, the coaches always appreciate the fans, but they don't really know what's going on. So I would assume I don't think they they don't remember what Mabry did to them earlier.
Right.
And I don't think their kicker can consistently get it to the end zone. And the last thing you want to do, and I'm sure they did a better job in practice working on their pooch kick. It's not quite going the way they want it, but getting the ball on the 35 is a lot better than getting it for a touchdown.
Going to hand it off here and cross the 40-yard line. It's Riddick Bolton this time carrying the football. So Coach Duggar kind of a committee approach there, going back and forth between Bolton and Pemberton, kind of switching drives for each player to carry the football.
It's been a good 1-2 punch.
Austin Fry, the injured running back, injured his shoulder last week. So Bolton getting some more carries and Pemberton having to play some offense. So brings up 3rd and short.
Boy, Braxton Dilly came back and made a nice block. Kind of we'd call it almost like a power, basically. Just some call it a counter, but when you're pulling a guy backside, he pulled the tight end. So 22 comes flying in there, and boy, he laid a hit on the defensive end. Now this is where Coach Duggar, that clock just seems to be at a snail's pace, trying to get through the game now.
And Riddick Bolton, good job running away from the defender. Perry Meridian had one or two defenders coming right through there untouched, and Riddick Bolton put his foot in the ground and kind of went around the left side near that left tackle and got just enough for the first down. Here in the near side, this is a good battle here. This is Herbert, who's pretty quick on Egan, kind of. And not much there. So Perry Meridian does get a stop on that carry. Bolton for about a 2-yard pickup. And Coach, you talk about kind of how they chase points earlier, and this is exactly. I mean, it's clock's ticking away, and it's a 2-possession ball game for Perry Meridian. This game would have a different feel if it was an 8-point game as opposed to a 10-point game for sure.
Yeah, that's what I've seen coaches do it. I've probably done it myself a couple times.
And Atkins goes down, can't get away that time. They kind of went away from the run on first down, or on second down, I should say, and tried to go deep. And Meridian, they've brought some pressure.
Yeah, I would
most of the
stay
night.
underneath. I would stay underneath, and then you can't run the football, but you don't want to do anything silly here. But again, you are setting at a 2-possession game, and last thing coach wanted to happen, but.
All right, we got another penalty here. The teams have had a few false starts here tonight. I know Coach Duggar, probably one thing he's going to be talking about tomorrow during film session, walkthroughs, whatever they have, and kind of discuss all the penalties that Artesians have had kind of piling up on them.
I got to give the Perry team credit. They just, they've had their backs to the wall. You think they're just about knocked out, and they just keep hanging. They're, they're hanging by a thread, but they're still right there. I mean,
little swing pass there. Riddick Bolton up the sideline and gets it out to the 50-yard line. Now, Coach, what do you do here? I mean, that big gain, about 15-yard pickup, and now you're 4 and 5 range. Do you think about going, or you just punt this away, or do you try to?
I would punt it away.
Yeah.
Now, if we had my punt formation, might be a different story. But at that much, when you got 6-7 yards, that's just too far. You just I would punt it away. He's probably going to draw them off sides.
Nope, they snap it. Atkins rolls to his right. He's got his man wide open. It is caught for the first down, and that's a backbreaker for Perry Meridian.
Well, Coach fooled me on that one.
That was Trevor Hott who made that catch.
Yeah, good route, and that was the one that probably put an end to this thing.
I mean, it would have been tough for Perry Meridian even if they get that stop, but now you get the first down, and have to kind of wonder when Coach Cooper will start using those 3 timeouts he has left. But 2-possession game, it's hard to climb out of this hole. And Riddick Bolton has it. Not much there, though.
Number 35, Riddick Bolton, the ball carrier.
But I think the Perry coach, there'll be a few plays he's going to look at, but you go back and remember that penalty that we scored on. We had, 4th down and long, would have been 4th and long, and end up being a first down.
Yep, that was because of the roughing the passer. Atkins was out of bounds and got tackled pretty hard, 2 or 3 steps out of bounds, and that gave Artesians a first down.
And this 4th down conversion right here, that was a big one.
Fakes the handoff, and Atkins is going to go down.
Number 17.
Penalty flag got thrown pretty early on as that play was going.
2-minute motion. Offense.
I wonder if Coach Cooper called that flag because he was yelling illegal motion, and then shortly after that is when the official decided to throw the flag. So
we had our jet guy look like, and it looks like I think it was 22 was bobbing.
2-minute motion at the snap. So he's decline, 3rd down.
Coach Cooper wisely going to decline the penalty. So that moves it back another 3rd down for the Artesians. It was 3rd and 20 last time they had a little swing pass to Riddick Bolton. They got 15 yards. That made the decision for Duggar to go for it. 3rd and 11 here, so maybe same mindset or not. We'll see if Atkins can get 7 or 8 yards here. Draw play. Big hole there, Riddick Bolton. And he's going to have the first down by a couple extra yards. So Riddick Bolton, another big play on 3rd down for the Artesians.
Coach has got to be real happy with his offense, how they're closing out and how they've executed. You put 42 points up on the board, maybe more coming up. You've had a pretty good night. Defense, he's going to, I'm sure, have they'll be on the chalkboard looking at a few things.
Yep. Bolton just running over Perry Meridian players, his own blocker there, and
Pickup of 8 on the play.
So Artesians, like we said, Coach, they've got Mooresville and Nick Patterson, the junior quarterback, and this Roman player has played well, quarterbacked really well for Meridian, but I think Nick Patterson's a little bit more above athletic-wise and just quarterback skill-wise. So Artesian will have a better quarterback to face more than likely next week.
Well, the only thing I could say to that is, I'm sure is better, but I'm tell you what, the Perry kid played really well tonight. I mean, he played as well as any quarterback that I've seen in a while. He hit the short passes. He did a good job reading the option. He hit the long passes, was pretty accurate. Missed on a couple, could have been a few more, it looked like, but he played really well. So I think he's one that's going to be someone we have to deal with in the future, most likely.
So it's Artesian defense, a pretty stout, good defense, and our Meridian Falcons put 32 points on the board. Atkins looking, he's going to run and take a hit, and it looks like Hott was open there, but Atkins decided to tuck it and run.
Second down and 4.
So 9 seconds on the play clock, but clock just running down. It's the coach's friend right now for the Artesians. And Atkins still has it. He's looking to pass. Oh, what a pass and catch by Atkins to Dilly, and Atkins threw that just perfect right over the head of a Perry Meridian defender into the hands of Braxton Dilly for the score.
Well, I like that Braxton didn't have to put 2 feet in. He must have thought he was in the NFL, but that would have been good in the NFL the way he brought that one in. Great pitch and catch. Been a good way to ice this game.
I'm going to follow this with here in a second.
So Ethan Handline, kick up, good.
2:29 to go in the game. Martinsville 49.
Well, Eric, I can tell you, going into next week, I got a feeling there's going to be, what's the over-under as far as 100 points to be scored?
A lot of points will be scored as Tyler Atkins will show the highlight here, the last touchdown. Atkins rolls to his right. Good job by our cameraman to follow this. And then Braxton Dilly, gets both feet down. That'd be good on Sundays. And Artesians 49-32 with 2:29 left to go. Artesians look like they're going to move to 5-2 overall, 4-1 in the conference. With a big showdown against the Mooresville Pioneers next week. And the calendar has flipped to October, so that has some thinking toward the hardwood, as on October 18th between 7 and 9 p.m., it's the Martinsville Girls Basketball Frenzy. Former Martinsville coach, state champion, Coach Jan Connor will be there. She will speak and have a chance for fans to meet her, along with some of the players in those state championship teams. You'll be able to watch the first girls varsity practice. There'll be guest speaker Travis Daughtry from Champions 101. Concession stand will be open, so a good night for the family. October 18th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's the Martinsville Girls Basketball Frenzy at Martinsville High School John R. Wooden Gymnasium. Nice kick there by Ethan and into the end zone for the touchback. Now, Coach, were you at Martinsville when the battle for the M Trophy got started?
Yes.
So you were there for the inaugural battle for the M Trophy. I think it's a neat thing. You don't see many high schools do it. You see it at the college level quite a bit, but kind of those traveling trophies, rivalry games, the battle for the M Trophy. Martinsville, Mooresville. Unfortunately for Martinsville, Mooresville's been able to keep it at their school for the last few years, but hopefully that can change next week.
Well, I think it'd be a great game. I mean, maybe hopefully Decatur helps us out and we come put on a great defensive effort. Our offense is clicking. They're going to have trouble stopping us, so I know we're going to score some points. But the over/under in that game could be 120.
Roman's going to pass it, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, I know Coach wants to try to get a touchdown, but if I'm Perry, I'm going to run the football. I want to, except for some, I know I've given up 49 points, but my kids have played hard. They've battled back every time they've been down. I'm going to run the football and leave with a good taste in my mouth as much as I can after getting a defeat like this.
Pick up a 3. It'll be 3rd and 15 for the Falcons.
Goes Weston Pemberton there on that hit. Weston's had some good defender there. He comes from, when he's hitting you, he's coming from full steam because he's not, a defensive line or anything. He's playing kind of that hybrid linebacker defensive back. So when he's hitting you, he's coming full steam. Little pressure there. And Egan setting up a kind of a little tunnel screen there off his hands. So now it's 4th down, and Meridian's just going to punt this away, and I think Artesians can get in the victory formation and leave Ray Skillman Family Field victorious here. But it was a hard-fought battle. This is not a Perry Meridian team from years past. This is has a talented ball club, especially on the offensive end. And like you said, Coach, unfortunately, this is a team you may have to worry about here in the next couple of years.
They're going to have their work cut out for them in the offseason, but, I don't know who they got next week. But I said their sectional's probably going to be rough in the sectional, but you just have to see how that plays out. But get some positives, anything you can head in an offseason, get your leaders to take you to the weight room. And Martinsville's going to be in the same boat where we've got a lot of good kids returning, but we're losing some good kids. And they're going to have to do the same thing. So, I think this is a great conference as far as teams being balanced. I know Decatur's been pretty good. Mooresville's been pretty good the last couple of years, but usually the teams kind of share it a little bit.
Artesians, like we mentioned,
during the return,
penalty there on the Artesians chop block. Artesians, they will play Mooresville next week, and Coach, I will not be in the booth next week, so you will get to be alongside our producer Eric Meyer. So that should be a great broadcast.
Good.
Two great football minds, rivalry game. That should be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. It ought to be a great crowd. And boy, Eric, what about the weather we've had? I'm not sure. Well, the games we've covered, we haven't had any bad weather. This has been unbelievable. Yep. I left my jacket in the car today.
I'm still wearing shorts. October 1st. That's all right. So Perry Meridian, they've got Decatur Central next week, then Mooresville the week after that. So their next 2 regular season games, they got some tough competition. Artesians after Mooresville will play at Plainfield. That will be their regular season finale. In Plainfield, they have a talented football team as well. They've got some really good athletes. Greg Doyle, the Indy Star, wrote a write-up on them a couple weeks ago and some of their players. So the next 2 games for both these squads are going to be tough ones.
I think they've got a young, maybe a freshman quarterback as well.
I think Carson Melvin is his name for Plainfield, and then Teaches there in victory formation.
At this stage of the season, though, we call them, except for the physical aspects, they're they've been in the games, and if you can keep their head still in it, and I think the Perry coach has, look at a couple freshmen they have out there. They're still engaged, which is part of it, and so some good things may be getting ready to happen for them. But, boy, what a beautiful stadium they've created here.
Really nice spot here. Perry Meridian, they've done real press box is absolutely gorgeous, huge press box, and they're doing things right here at Perry Meridian High School. But Artesians, they win it tonight. And the Mid-State Conference, they move to 4-1, 5-2 overall. 49-32 is your final score for Coach Fred Cuttriff, producer Eric Meyer, and all the students who helped put this broadcast together. Thank you for watching on IHSAA TV. I'm Eric Burns. Good night, everybody.
Falcon fans, we'll be back in action next Friday night at Decatur Central High School and finish up on October 15th with a home game.